What's up, everybody? Welcome to Eric Barassa's Snow Day, where my kids are home, the whole family's here. We're having a grand old time. So I wanted to share with you my sweep arpeggio etude, 7th arpeggios. It's got a lot of legato in it as well to kind of make life easier. In my opinion, these are the easier sweep arpeggios to be able to master. So let's start with our basic shape, our A minor 7. It's going to start at the 12th fret. That's kind of the shape that this whole etude is predicated upon, and it's kind of moving that around to some different shapes and different positions to help you get used to it. So we're going to start with a downstroke on 12 and then a hammer-on. Now here's what's interesting is each of these arpeggios starts on the 7th of the chord. So we're starting on the note G, which is the flat 7 of A. So G, hammer on to A. So the second note is always the root. If you're having a hard time finding, like, where am I on the fretboard? What am I even playing? The second note is always the root. So we got G, hammer to A, and then we go to the minor third C on the 13th fret of the second string, and then to E, the 12th fret on the first string. Ace, A-C-E. There's our A minor arpeggio, and then we're just adding another G on top of it. So that's our basic shape. So what I would practice first is doing the hammer-on, hammer, and then down, down. So it's really only a 2-string sweep that's happening there. So we got down, hammer, sweep, sweep, and then an upstroke on that 15th fret. I would practice that shape first. And then one thing to keep in mind with the sweep arpeggio is make sure it's not going like down, hammer, pick, pick, okay? You've got to go pick, and when you pick that second string, you immediately rest it against the top of the first string, and then when you're ready to play the first string, you just follow through. So it's more of a rake, right? A sweep. You're sweeping across the strings. Think about the way an actual sweep works. The brushes kind of go in succession, right, one at a time, but they all follow one right after the other, and that's what you're doing. It's not like the bristles of a sweep or a brush go one at a time. They all sort of move in succession, right? And that's what we're doing here. It's like a slow strum, but we're only doing it across 2 strings for this example. Down, hammer, down, sweep, down, hammer, down, follow through, up. And then when we go back, we're going to pull off back to 12, and then we're going to do up, up. And then it starts over with a down, okay? So when you practice the return, start with an upstroke on 15 of the first string. I would practice not just ending the arpeggio, but practice reversing it so you get used to looping it. You never want to practice something beginning to end. You always want to practice beginning to the starting note of the next thing, right? So when we practice the ascent, we are practicing stopping on the first note of the descent, right? And same when we come back, we're ending on the first note of the repeat. Okay, so that's the technique. That's the idea. Now let's continue going through the shapes. So that's our first shape, A minor 7. And you can use your neck pickup or your bridge pickup or anything in between, whatever you want. After we play that 4 times, we're going to stay starting on 12, and we're going to play a G sharp major 7 arpeggio. So there's G sharp. Our second note is always the root. The great news is the sweep technique is the exact same. So once you get that down, it's just a matter of learning the rest of the shapes. So this shape is tough because we have a middle finger bar across 2 strings. We're going 12, 13, roll to the second string, 13th fret. That's probably going to take some practice all on its own. Okay, so after playing through that shape several times, we just get to play the first shape again, but starting at the 10th fret. So here's quiz time. If we're at the 10th fret and then you hammer on to 12, what is the name of the root note of that arpeggio? Well, the 12th fret is G, right? So we've got a G minor 7. Same as the first shape. Now our third shape. And then we're just going to go back to the first shape. And then the first half of this etude, you just move that shape up to C minor 7, starting at the 15th fret. And then B minor 7, starting at the 14th fret. So here's the whole first half of the etude, kind of up speed. Okay, let's play it slow. How many times did I do that? Anytime I play it slow, I tend to not do enough repetitions of each thing because I'm so used to like moving through it a little bit faster. Anyway, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what those shapes look like for the first half. It's basically the same shape for the entire thing except for that G sharp major 7. So now moving into the second half, we start the same way as the beginning with that A minor 7. But now we're going to go to a diminished 7. And again, the root note is still the second note in the shape. But because it's diminished 7, the root note can be any of the 4 notes. That's for a different lesson, but really cool. Diminished 7 arpeggios are the same exact thing every 3 frets. So we go 11, 14, 13, 11, 14. Now, the way I play this, the fingers I use, I go 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. Why? I don't know. I experimented with just 1, 2, and 3. Hitting that high note with the ring finger for some reason didn't just make sense to me. And the pinky just feels better there. But it also didn't make sense for me to go 1, 4, 3 because that 4 to 3 at that speed, that's a tough, I mean, I could do it, but it's more work. And who wants to do that? So that's the fingering I like for that diminished 7 arpeggio. So the first half. Now we are going to jump to the 4th string and play diminished 7, which is going to look like this. So we're starting on the note D on the 12th fret of the 4th string, and we're going to go 12, 15 with the pinky, middle finger on 13 of the 3rd string, and then 12, 15 of the 2nd string. You can kind of see this shape, the 12, 15, on strings 4 and 2. And then just add that 2nd finger in between. Now, the cool thing is we're only going to play that once, but we're just going to move it up 3 frets and play the same thing because it's the same stinking 4 notes. And then back. And then down to 9. So that's a cool little exercise in itself. Now we move into what I think is the hardest part of this, and you probably heard me struggling just a little bit when I was doing the playthrough up to speed. So, because I wrote this to challenge students, but I also wrote it to challenge myself and give myself something kind of fun and creative to practice. And I highly encourage you, whatever technique you're struggling with, instead of just searching YouTube. I mean, of course, watch all of my videos, but also practice coming up with your own etudes, your own exercises, and I think you'll find yourself, if you tend to be a more creative type, you'll find yourself more inspired in your egomaniacal God complex of a mind to practice something you've created rather than something somebody else created. So I enjoy practicing the things I write. It's fun. Okay, so this shape here goes starting on the 4th string, 10, hammered a pinky on the 14. I'm going to use the middle finger on the 12th fret of the 3rd string, and then 10, 13 on the 2nd string. Now, what arpeggio is this? I don't even remember. Let's see. E, G, A, C. Wow. C. You know what I'm thinking? C, E, G, A. What has a C, an E, a G, and an A? Oh, it's an A minor 7 inversion. I forgot what I wrote. Okay, yeah. So that's why I did that. It's an A minor 7 inversion. And we're going to play that twice. And again, I'm going 1, 4, 2, 1, 4. You could also practice 1, 4, 2, 1, 3. In fact, I might like that better. I'm just not as used to it. I do like using my pinky up there. Then, here's the hardest shape, because you do probably want to use the pinky and the ring finger. We're going to go 10, 13, 12 on the second string, and then 9, 13 on the first string. And this ends up being, what does this end up being? Like C minor? Oh, okay, so what I'm doing is, in the second half, apparently, I'm figuring out, is, because I don't remember, I wrote this so long ago, it's like a G sharp major 7 arpeggio inverted as well, down an octave, right? So we have this A minor 7, and now this A minor 7, now we have this G sharp major 7, and now this G sharp major 7. And if you do the math and figure them out, in which I encourage you to figure out what are exactly each one of those notes, you'll discover that it really is just the same 4 notes of the same arpeggio. It just looks totally different. But it has the same sound quality to it. So I'm going 1, 4, 3, 1, 4. You could also experiment with 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. I might experiment with that, but I think I still actually prefer the pinky and the ring finger for that one part. Then we're going to do G minor 7, just like we did at the very beginning of the etude. This is just like the A minor 7 we just did, but down 2 frets. Then back to the A minor 7. Then A minor 7 on the 3rd string. And then up to the 15th fret for C minor 7. Up 2 more frets for D minor 7. And then just descend A minor pentatonic, finishing with a bend from G to A to resolve it. So again, that second half, or kind of that last quarter of it, A minor 7, G sharp major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7, A minor 7, C minor 7, D minor 7, pentatonic, and a bend. Let's see if I can do that part up to full speed. I doubt it. Eric, believe in yourself. Yeah, let's start one more time. All right. Some of you are going to be like, wow, Eric, you're not very good at sweeping. I know. That's why I'm practicing it. I would consider myself on the sweeping spectrum an average sweep player. The good news is I don't do just sweep after sweep after sweep in my solos, but I practice etudes like this that are nothing but sweeps, because in real life, I'm only going to use 1 or 2 at a time. I do want to be able to just throw them in every now and then. So maybe I'm playing something like this. Or, well, let's see, maybe something like this. I like to practice doing an etude where I'm doing arpeggio after arpeggio after arpeggio, so that in real life I can throw them in little by little, okay? So that's my goal, but I hope you find this helpful, and take and do with it what you will. Maybe you only like one of the arpeggio shapes in there, or maybe you want to just practice the first half and throw that in. I'm a big believer in you don't have to master everything to be a great guitar player and musician. You just want to find the things that you really like and the things that will make your playing distinctive, and then extract that and apply it to your own playing. So that's really what I'm trying to accomplish with this etude, and I hope it's helpful to you. Guys, be sure and like and subscribe if you dig this. I will see you guys soon. Oh my God. Don't die!
What?
I can't lose my only daughter. Oh, I get another daughter. Okay, great. Then it's okay if I lose one. Of course, of course.